Hey, what's up with the YouTube? Hope everyone's doing well, feeling blessed. Today's video, want to get right into it and talk about the difference between working locally and OTR, over the road. Pros and cons of both. Um, I know that many people like to work locally when they first get into trucking for many different reasons. Many people really, how do you say it? They don't want to be away from their families if they're family people, and also um, a lot of people just are not fascinated with living in a truck, if that makes sense. It's pretty that's a pretty hard life. It doesn't even matter if you have a family or not. That's really becomes it's really a lifestyle once you decide to live in a truck, for months at a time or weeks at a time, whatever it may be that you decide to be on the road. That takes a certain individual to do that. It might look easy, but you know me personally, it's rough, man. And I don't go out for months at a time like some do, man. I knew back in the day, when I got introduced to trucking was because of my father, and I worked at a household moving company, man, at the age of 18. So I was around truck drivers at a young age, and all them dudes were over the road, man. And I mean, gangster ass cats, man, all of them, man. The old school, learned a lot from them. Cool people, man. Really cherish those moments again. And them guys were some savages, man. But they're from that generation where they've been trucking since the late 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, even, man. That was a era of trucking, man. I mean, you would hear the stories of them making bank and making that paper, man. Especially as owner operators in that household moving company. If you did household back in the day, man, you was making a good living, enough to, like, you was living the American dream. I'll just put it like that, for your family, or even just in general, you were living it up, especially if you managed your money right and did it right. So I happened to be around them cats, man, and them dudes, man, would be gone. I would hear stories like, man, I ain't been home in 6 months, 5 months, 3 months. They just hit it hard. Some of them had their wife with them, some of them had their kids with them. I mean, I remember there was a dude, man, that had his whole family in the truck. No BS, man. I don't know how he got away with that, but yeah. So it's a lifestyle, definitely. I mean, it ain't easy. Some people really like it, though. I mean, when it becomes a lifestyle, man, it's just a normal thing to you, man. Some people enjoy it. It's cool, I mean, you get to see different things, different states, different cultures around the United States. Believe it or not, people are different in every state, and it's cool seeing that. So, and sometimes, you make good money being over the road. You can make more potentially being over the road. Just depends on how you get paid. Everybody I know that's over the road, they do it because they're making money too. So, and sometimes, I don't know, like, speaking for like Swift and like Schneider and all them, because I don't know nobody that really works there. I know people that have went there and, like, just to get their feet wet, get that experience. But yeah, they pay about a cents per mile. Unless you become owner operator with them, then I don't, I would assume that you make way better bread being with them at that point. But as an entry-level truck driver, it's hard, and they do ring, but I know that they are like regional, like they stick to a certain geographic area, like they might just have you run 11 Western or something like that. So yeah, that's why a lot of people choose to do local work. And another thing that's cool about local work is you can clock in, clock out. Let's say you do 14 hours a day. I know most local companies stick to that 14-hour gap. So you get to go home every night, and then you still got a little bit of time to do what you need to do around your house, spend a little bit of time with your kids, for the family people, with your dog, whatever. You got the opportunity to kind of cook your meals and at home eat home cooked meals still, or go to your favorite places to eat. That's just a perk right there. You can you got the opportunity to go to work out. You have the opportunity to live a normal life still. And I know when I used to work local, man, I took that for granted. But it was great. I was making good money, doing it. I worked for the waste company, good money. But I always felt like, man, 2 days wasn't enough. Saturday and Sunday always always went by real fast. Same, it's almost like doing a reset, when you're OTR, like it just goes by fast. But you get to be home every day, so that's one of the beautiful things about being local. And I know that local companies nowadays, they're paying real great. Got a lot of friends that are making 2,500 to 3,000 every 2 weeks, which is great money, with benefits, great benefits. Some of them jobs are union. They get their days off, and also they get 1 week paid vacation, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, depending on how long they've been with their company. They get that PTO time off. So there's great things about working for these local companies nowadays. And you got real great companies now. Like waste companies are paying great. UPS is paying great. FedEx, Columbia. If you're doing beer, there's just great companies out there, man. And people are making livings for their families. So shout out to all them dudes that handle all that local work, for reals. It's just as hard as doing over the road. Over the road is just gonna end up being a lifestyle. You're hauling your freight to all these different states all over the place. And OTR is cool. You'll make I feel like you'll make more money. Sometimes you'll have some good days, sometimes you'll have bad days. But it comes with a lot of not responsibility is always going to be, no matter what, when you're driving that truck. You just got to be responsible and safe. But the thing about over the road is you're going to have to, when you're new to it, you're gonna learn a lot of new things. Like maybe you didn't have an EOD when you work for your local company because you're staying in that 100-mile radius. So that's something that you're gonna have to learn how to use an EOD, which not very hard. You'll learn it. Maybe even paper logs. You're gonna have to learn how to route plan. You're gonna have to learn all these areas that you never been to before, and a truck GPS really comes in handy at that point. Also, if you never chained up before, depending on where you live, that's another thing you're gonna have to get used to doing, because you're gonna be going to all these different areas where there's a lot of snow in the wintertime. And learning, where you're gonna, be parking your truck at night, and learning where your tolls are at. Just many things come into play. So yeah, it's just like anything, you just learn, and it just becomes a normal thing. And then once you go to all these places many different times, you start to learn the routes and the interstates and highways. And always read the signs on the road too. It's gonna save you a headache in the long run. As you're scanning your mirrors, look at the signs, because it might save you. It might say it's not a truck route and all that. Take that very serious, because you can. And there's a reason why they put those signs up. And when you read all the signs, it kind of just gives you a heads up what's up ahead. So yeah, everyone. Local and over the road are both good, and you got to just be ready to choose which one you want to do. And I feel like if you go from local to over the road, you'll appreciate the local stuff if you ever want to go back to that. And or you might just fall in love with OTR, or if you go from OTR to local, you might fall in love with local. So it all really depends on your lifestyle and how much money you want to make. And And you know, some people like the OTR to get away from their woman, you know, get away from it all for a little bit and come back, you know. Sometimes I appreciate it. So it just different strokes for different folks. That's all I gotta say. So everyone have a blessed and beautiful day. Remember, you're worth it. And thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Hit the thumbs down button if you don't like this video. And I'll see you guys next time. Adios.